So we woke up this morning, turned on the water heater to have a shower, and then all of a sudden water was pouring out underneath the floors.
But I made the stupid comment of, oh, the only thing to go wrong next is our electrical.
Yeah, which is what has happened today. So we didn't really know what to do. We proceeded to rip apart the entire bench.
Oh my God, you guys, this berg just exploded.
Like, while we were here, while we were filming, I got it on the drone. That's a literal once in a lifetime. I can't believe that happened just now.
Hey everyone, we are Dana and Mike. After living life on the road in our RV and exploring countless beautiful locations in North America and Europe, we came home, bought a van, and converted it into our very own tiny home on wheels. Now, we are back on the road once again with our 3 dogs and searching for adventure. Join us every Sunday for new videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, good morning. Everyone loves disasters, and we're in the middle of one right now. So we woke up this morning. It's been pretty cold where we're camping, like not that cold, maybe down to like 0 degrees Celsius at most. Turned on the water heater this morning to have a shower. I heard like a weird splash sound about 15 minutes into the water heater heating up, and then all of a sudden water was pouring out underneath the floors all over the van. One of the connections going into the water heater from the water pump just let go. And so, bit of a mess right now. There's water everywhere. I have to take this out and clean up. Yeah, that was not a good way to start the morning. So yeah, we got towels all over the floor. All of those are wet. Here's where the water heater is. The intake line to the water heater just completely let go. Yeah, I guess that's what happens if you're camping somewhere too cold, but I didn't even think it was that cold. Like, we've used this water heater in much colder conditions than this, but I guess this was the last straw. So obviously it's wet everywhere here because of this pipe. Yeah, that's not good. Everything's wet in here. Not too sure what we're gonna do right now. This is really not good. Okay, well, at least the good news is that none of the water made its way underneath this drawer. So damage report. Most of it was basically contained in here. Yeah, water did come out and leak onto the floor.
It came all the way down here.
Yeah. But we managed to wipe it all out before it got underneath any of the cabinets, so that's helpful. Now we got this fan going, we're drying out in here, and I guess this clamp wasn't as on as it could have been, and it could have rattled loose. Who knows what really happened. And the pressure of the cold and the hot. So it shouldn't be a terrible thing to fix. Just let this all dry out, reconnect it all, tighten that fitting, and then we'll test it. Maybe we'll leave this compartment open for a while so we can kind of keep an eye on it. So yeah, that's how you want to start the day, isn't it? Okay, so another crisis averted. Hopefully, that's the toaster oven. So our plan for the next couple of days, now that we're finally getting into this episode, didn't plan on starting the episode like that, obviously.
You never want to start an episode with a disaster.
So just to catch you guys up, we're still here in Labrador. Last episode was awesome. We ended it off with seeing some really amazing icebergs here at this town called Red Bay. And we're continuing our adventure here in the Newfoundland area. We're actually going to be taking a ferry over to Newfoundland tomorrow morning. So we have to get to the ferry terminal tonight and spend the night around that area. And then the next part of our adventure will begin tomorrow. If you guys saw last episode, we weren't originally planning on going to Newfoundland at all this journey. We were only going to be concentrating here on the Labrador side. But once we got here, it was still a little too early in the season. and our chances of seeing icebergs were limited. But apparently over on Newfoundland is going to be even better. That's what people say. And so that's why we're going to make the journey over there tomorrow. So Twilling Gate is our end goal. Once we get over to Newfoundland, it is this amazing, beautiful area. But in the meantime, join us today as we get back on the road. We're leaving Red Bay and we're heading over to Blanc-Sablon, which is going to be the town that has the ferry that goes over to Newfoundland. Along the way, maybe we can see some more icebergs as we drive along the coastal route here on Labrador. And yeah, we also got to resupply some stuff. We lost a whole bunch of water with that giant leak this morning, so we're hoping to dump and fill water and also have a shower sometime today. Hopefully everything works out good with that. Life on the road, always interesting. It never gets boring.
We're gonna continue to keep it real.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have been driving and we've come to a new area just outside of this town. I forget what it's called, it's right here. And there was an opening and holy crap, this is the biggest iceberg. The biggest one. That is the closest we've ever seen. Well, you guys, this is literally the type of iceberg that you come to Newfoundland and Labrador for. Like, these gigantic icebergs are insane. It's like two separate pieces and you can see the blue at the bottom. Oh my God. I'm fulfilled now, you guys. We don't even need to go to the island. Just kidding. I want to see more.
All right, so we are on our way now to Blanc-Sablon, which is going to be the town that has the ferry that will take us over to Newfoundland tomorrow, where we're hoping all of this stuff just ramps up even more, even crazier than what we just witnessed now. We're gonna find a campsite there. The ferry is tomorrow morning, so we're just gonna hang out for the rest of today. And yeah, we'll catch up back with you guys once something interesting happens. All right, so yeah, now that we have made it into town, finally gonna take that shower that we were gonna take this morning before all that crazy water fiasco happened. Everything's still looking good, no leaks, and I've retightened everything, so hopefully we can just forget that even happened and take a nice hot shower.
Yeah, basically just parked at the dump so that we could just dump right after.
Yeah.
And all of our towels are dirty, so we're gonna shower and then wipe off with dirty towels.
Yeah.
We really need to find laundry somewhere.
Yeah, like we had to use all these towels to clean up the terrible mess this morning from the leak.
Yeah, every towel was used.
All right, good shower. I love having a shower in this van. Yeah, because like where we are right now, there's no campgrounds open. Most water-filled places that you can find, like on Overlander, none of them are open because it's still technically winter. So everything's still frozen. It's very hard to find a hot shower when you're this remote. So I'm glad we have one. So yeah, for example, we're at this like fire hall and there's a dump that's open behind us, but that spigot there is supposed to be the water fill that anybody can use, but it's off. There's no water when you turn it on. So we're gonna have to figure out water some other way. Alrighty, welcome to our park up. Excuse the mess, we're still kind of getting situated from the disaster from this morning. Yeah, we got some food from this takeout place. It's
called Yummies.
Yeah, and it looks really yummy. We got poutine and cheeseburgers. Yeah, it was funny. The place that we got this from, when I went in and picked up the food, they asked us like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "Oh, from BC." And like their eyes went like, "What?" Like, and they asked like, "You drove all the way over here?" And we're like, "Well, we drove to Mexico first, and then we drove all the way over here." And we've been on the road for like 5 months now. Yeah. And it blew them away. They were even like, "Oh, do you have room for one more?" Because they wanted to come with us. It's always fun meeting new people on the road. It's always fun telling your story and all that stuff. But in any case, we're gonna dig into this because this looks freaking awesome.
Also, if you do come here and want to go here, they are cash only.
Oh yeah, this restaurant. There's like the one restaurant in the whole town, and they're cash only. So make sure you bring cash. But yeah, we are basically parked up right next to the ferry terminal. So tomorrow we will just have to drive like 100 feet that way and we're gonna be on the ferry. Interesting thing about time zones right now. So we are in Quebec right now, which is Eastern Standard Time, but Newfoundland is an hour and a half ahead of Quebec. So right now it is 3:30 p.m. here and it's 5 o'clock in Newfoundland. And the ferry tomorrow, they told us, like, they drilled this into us when we made the booking. They're like, the ferry leaves at 10:30 Newfoundland time, not this time. So the ferry leaves at 10:30 and we need to be on it by 9 a.m. here. So yeah, just gotta make sure, if you're ever gonna do this, make sure you're on it in terms of knowing the time zones and all this stuff.
Because during this drive, we went through like 3 time zones.
Yeah, it's crazy how many different time zones are in this Newfoundland, Labrador / Quebec area. There's a lot. But in any case, we're gonna eat this food. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Newfoundland, here we come. Whoa. Holy cow. It is so foggy. Well, okay. Good morning. So we're up bright and early today. It's not a super long ferry. It's about an hour and 45 minutes according to their website. If you guys saw like years ago, our previous adventure to Newfoundland, we had to take like an 8-hour ferry to get there from Nova Scotia. This time around, since we're already at Labrador, it's way closer. Unfortunately, we have to leave the dogs here in the van while we go, so that's gonna be a bit of an interesting thing. You know, they might get a little weirded out by all the boat movements and stuff, right? Since we are already parked basically right next to the ferry terminal, it's like a 30-second drive to get over there, and we're gonna get in line and get this journey going. It's gonna be awesome. Bye, puppies.
The ferry from Labrador to Newfoundland was short and sweet. It was nice that they served breakfast because we hadn't eaten anything today. I even got a hot chocolate because they're awesome. And once we got settled in and comfy in our seats, something incredible started happening.
All right, back to the van. How we doing? Did you guys survive?
Good job! Good job!
All right, everyone, welcome to Newfoundland. That ferry ride, it was a lot longer than they said it was gonna be, but it was actually really cool to go through those giant fields of icebergs.
Yep.
And like that was, I don't know, a really nice surprise. Like we didn't think anything like that was gonna happen.
It was worth the money just for that.
Just for that. It was basically like going on a boat tour of icebergs. The weather is beautiful today, and yeah, we're just really, really happy to be back here. It's definitely gonna be a different trip this time around. We're only here for a week. Last time we were here for like over a month. And our goal, of course, is to see as many icebergs as we possibly can. And that's what we're gonna do. So we're on our way now. We are heading to the northern section of the island. We're heading to a town called St. Anthony. There's supposed to be some nice park-ups in that area that we're gonna try to find.
We have not been to the north. So
No.
This section we actually didn't do.
Yeah, guys, join us as we make our way through Newfoundland. This place is amazing. You gotta check it out, and let's get into it. Alright, we have made it to St. Anthony here on the northern section of Newfoundland. Our first task is to try to find water because we We haven't been able to find any water to fill the van for quite a while now. Everywhere we've been has still been on winter shutdown mode, so hopefully we can find something here. Haha! It has been so long since we've been able to fill this water tank. But this gas station here in St. Anthony has a free water spigot. Very nice. Got water. It's really nice to find water. It's been too long. Met the owner of the building. He kind of rolled by while we were filling up just to welcome us. And yeah, I told him how nice it was to have a working water spigot because pretty much everywhere we've gone over the last little while, none of them have been turned on. So kudos to him. And now what we're gonna do is try to find a nice park up for the evening. Found a nice looking spot on iOverlander. Hopefully it's good. Let's go check it out.
Alrighty, we have officially made it to where we're gonna park up for the night, and it's really nice. There's like, I wasn't sure what to expect honestly, but there is like tons of ice, tons of like beautiful rock formations. It's definitely really nice. I am loving this. Yeah, there's a big guy out there. We've got this beautiful rock, another beautiful rock, a lovely bay. This is so beautiful. Oh my God.
You get this crazy 360-degree view.
I'm so glad we came over here.
Whoa. Hey everyone, so the night's winding down, and yeah, I think we are pretty happy with how day one here in Newfoundland has turned out.
And we might even change our plans slightly.
Oh yeah, we were only gonna stay here for 1 week.
We might extend it for like a couple days.
And that's part of the beauty of van life. You can just change your plans anytime you want and just go with it. But in any case, we're going to sign off now. We're going to have our dessert for the evening. We already had dinner. We can no longer eat just cookies by themselves. Once we discovered mixing it with ice cream.
We didn't discover it. We just decided, well, we can just make the restaurant quality.
Yeah, because we went to a restaurant and we were gonna get dessert, but they were like, why don't we just make it ourselves? And this is basically what it was. But in any case, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Welcome to the next day. So we've moved on from where we were parked up yesterday. Like the weather was actually really bad this morning. We woke up and it was snowing pretty heavily. There was crazy wind,
fog,
and lots of fog, so we couldn't really see anything. So we decided to just pack up and leave. Went into town and did, some laundry and got some groceries and went to, the Canadian staple of Tim Hortons to grab some snacks for the road. But yeah, now we are headed more south. We're headed to an area called the Arches Provincial Park. This is not Arches National Park like in Utah. It's not that. No. It's just a park.
The Arches.
Yeah, it's called the Arches Provincial Park.
Yeah.
The weather has turned way nice, and yeah, we got to see a whole bunch of ice. Because of the wind, we think, it pushed a whole bunch of the ice that was just floating out into the ocean right to shore. Just these like endless sea of ice shards all over the place. Really cool to see. And it's just great that the weather has turned nicer. And yeah, we're chasing the weather. And Dana was saying we're just making our own luck, because when you're by the ocean, the weather constantly changes. You never really know what you're gonna get.
On the wind direction, it's like, oh, it could be really favorable some days, so it's blowing all the ice and whatnot to us, but then the next day it might be blowing in the whole opposite direction. So you really just don't know what you're gonna get, and it kind of is like, you just want to be in every single location at once. So it's just really stressful because you're like, if I leave, like when we left this spot, and I was like, that spot's gorgeous. And if we leave, I'm gonna be so sad if it got really good weather.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is what it is.
Like you could wait forever and they might never show up.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. You just gotta roll the dice and keep moving. And that's what we're doing. But yeah, guys, we will catch you once we get to our park up for the evening at the Arches Provincial Park.
This should be free. It's on Islander. We're crossing our fingers, but most of the time provincial parks are not free. Yeah. So I don't know what that's
surprising that it's free.
Yeah.
So, but we'll show you guys once we get there. Okay, we have finally arrived after 3 hours of driving to the Arches Provincial Park.
Yeah, I double checked Overlander and there are tons of reviews of people camping here overnight. There are gates though at the top, but they also didn't say gates close at X what time, you know? So
yeah, usually it would say something like that.
Yeah, so I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we've got a gorgeous view, sunset and all. And yeah, let's take the puppers out and maybe show you guys around. All right, bundled up. The only thing that we have noticed that we really need is balaclavas, because the wind is so strong and freezing. Wow. Everywhere else on our bodies has been absolutely fine and warm, but our faces are freezing. So we might actually pick one up at Walmart on the way. Yeah, just thought I'd point that out. If you're coming this way, bring balaclava because it gets so windy. But let's head that way.
Wow.
What a view!
Cool. Hey, check it out! Cool arch. Wow. I didn't know this was in Newfoundland. That's awesome.
Standing right here is a beautiful view.
Holy cow. Wow. Look at this cool, like, it's like we're in a cave. There's a whole nother one.
Yeah, it's
You okay?
Yeah, I'm not in my hiker.
Yeah, you're in frickin'
Oversized Crocs. Yeah. They're oversized so that I could wear my big fat fuzzy socks so they don't actually fit. And now it's time for laundry folding with this gorgeous view for sunset.
All right, everyone, good morning. Welcome to the next day. I don't know if you can hear, but it is crazy windy outside. I don't even know if you can hear me all that well because the wind is huge today. We just woke up. That was an awesome park up for the evening. That was such like a beautiful location. Sad that we only got to be there for one evening, but it was pretty awesome. Today we are on our way. We're gonna still keep making our way over to Twillingate, which is our next location, but along the way we desperately need an oil change and tire rotation on the van. I probably should have tried to take care of this before we even tried to get into Labrador or any of that stuff. It is what it is. I called like 6 different shops this morning and none of them could fit us in except for one. So hopefully they can do it. They're not even sure if they can because they were like, we need to test to make sure that the van can actually get up on their lift and all this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna figure that out. We're on our way there now and hopefully it all goes good. This town's name is kind of funny. It's called Cowhead. All right, we are done getting an oil change. Wasn't able to rotate tires, unfortunately. Their lift wasn't able to accommodate that. But at least we got an oil change, which was really, really needed. Back on the road now, and we are now headed to Twilling Gate. We have a long drive. It's gonna take over 5 hours to get to Twilling Gate. So yeah, we're gonna strap ourselves in. Twilling Gate should be one of the best places to see icebergs in all of Newfoundland. You know, people rave about how amazing Twilling Gate can be, and the bar's already set pretty high because we've already seen such good ones this trip already. We'll see how that all goes, but yeah, nice to be back on the road. Definitely took longer than we had expected. We were there for probably like 2 hours, so we gotta make up some time. So let's go. So we're driving through Grossmorn National Park. You can see the mountains way in the back there.
This is probably one of the most beautifulest areas on Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So if you ever get to come here, check out as much of this area as possible.
We were here 3 years ago. We went to so many different hikes in Grossmorn. It is like absolutely beautiful.
I cried.
Yeah, it was so good that it made Dana emotional. There's some awesome free camping too that we went to, and just like all the different landscapes, and you can hike on what's called the mantle of the earth here in Grossmorn National Park. Really, really interesting, unique landscapes, worth the trip. Definitely check it out. Okay, after all day of driving, we are finally at our campsite. And
on top of that hill.
yeah, that mound right there, and there's nobody here, so we are probably lucky with that. Yeah, we stayed at this exact spot in our truck and trailer almost 3 years ago, and it's crazy that we are here again.
I don't know if I would recommend it in the trailer.
Yeah, we kind of were really ballsy with getting the trailer up on this hill here. And even in the van, it's probably gonna be a little bit sketchy. The road is pretty messed up, as you can see. But we'll show you guys in a second here. We're very, very close. All right, so we gotta get up here. It doesn't look very steep on camera. Things never do. But this is where we're gonna go. All right, everyone, so we have finally set up camp. We're back here at this spot. This spot is super special to us. Like we said earlier, we've been here with our truck and trailer 3 years ago, and just being at the exact same place on this cool little hilltop overlooking this ocean is just awesome. We saw a bunch of icebergs on our drive into Twilling Gate. Gonna go check tomorrow. Today we just want to get here and just set up camp and just relax the rest of the day because that was just a crazy day. But yeah, definitely happy to be here. If I could impart any sort of travel advice in general, it's just don't try to cram too much stuff into one day because we are both like completely out of energy. You know, if you got chores to do, don't try to cram in a 5-hour drive on the same day. You got to do a whole bunch of chores. That's just how sometimes it ends up. But it's all good. Tomorrow, hopefully we'll get back out there. We'll check out these icebergs. We came all the way here. You know, they don't call Twilling Gate the iceberg capital of Newfoundland for nothing. And, you know, there's definitely some cool stuff here for sure. But yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow and hopefully more icebergs.
Good morning, everybody. We are in a way better mood today. Had some sleep and just chilled at the campsite for the rest of the evening. Today is still a gorgeous day. There's a little bit of clouds in the sky, but there is definitely sun. Today we are on the hunt for all of the icebergs in this area because we've only got a couple days that we can spend here, so we're gonna try and find as many as we can. Yeah, we did see a couple on our way out of the campsite that are really, really big, but I think we need to drive to another side to get even closer. And yeah, join us. We may or may not go on a walk. I'm hoping that we don't have to, just because I'm feeling lazy. I don't know. This trip has been very chill. Let's see what we find today. All right, everyone, we are risking the drone for you. So hit that like button, because this iceberg is gorgeous, but it's over some trees because we tried to get as close as we could to it, but signal's very weak, so pray that we do not lose the drone. All right, so for these first few icebergs, we're not able to get super low. It's because there's like no signal. So we might drive around, see if we can get a better signal from a different location. Okay, we got really close to these ones. Holy frick, those are huge. Okay, this is gonna be a way better spot to drone these two. These ones, bam, bam. Calvin, look at the iceberg. All right, we have made it as far away from Twilling Gate as we are planning on going. We're kind of just on the other side of Twilling Gate. So if you look here, Twilling Gate's kind of that way. And there's an iceberg right there that we are droning to. He's the most different out of them all. He's gigantic. He's almost the same height as the island over there. Yeah, we're just milking it because we're not sure how many more icebergs we're gonna see after this. Might only stay here one more night. Yeah, so let's enjoy.
Okay everyone, we are back at our beautiful campsite at the top of the hill, our favorite one. Yeah, in terms of things that we learned this time around in Newfoundland, yes, we definitely did come a tiny bit early in the season. So maybe there were some things that we could have done that we weren't able to do. But for the most part, our main goal was to come here and see icebergs, and we totally knocked that out of the park, I think. The only thing that could have been better is if you literally had a giant iceberg float next to you when you're on shore. But I mean, I think the chances of that, even in the best times of the year, there's no way to like predict that happening and to expect it. It's all about weather. Yeah, and it's all about weather and wind and all this stuff, right?
There's some tips that we used for like our iceberg scouting. There's a Facebook page called Newfoundland and Labrador Iceberg or something. Tons of people will post kind of daily about where they're seeing icebergs, and you should contribute too. So if you end up coming during iceberg season, definitely contribute because it helps everyone.
Yeah, when you have a group of people, a community of people posting in real time, like we saw it on this day, at this time, at this location, like that's how you can really have like a good way of, you know, planning your trip. But also at the same time, be prepared to just kind of alter what you think you're gonna do on a moment's notice, because you might want to go to location A, but then someone will post, oh, it's actually at location B, which is hundreds of kilometers away from where you are, and that's just kind of the way it is. So there's definitely an element of luck in being able to be at the right place at the right time. In any case, we are excited to continue our awesome adventure here in the van. It has been just amazing, and there's just so much more coming up, and we hope you guys stick around for it. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a new adventure. That is not fun.
As you can see, this is completely open.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's funny? But I made the stupid comment of, oh, the only thing to go wrong next is our electrical.
Yeah, which is what has happened today. So this morning we were making breakfast. Usually what we do is we put some potatoes in the air fryer and then cook like eggs and other stuff on the stove. And we do them at the same time. And we've been doing that for months now. And it's been totally fine. Except this morning, all of a sudden, when we turned on the stove and the toaster oven at the same time, everything shut down. And I got an under voltage warning in the inverter app. So that was not good. So we didn't really know what to do. We proceeded to rip apart the entire bench, as you can see, so we can get access to all of our electrical. And we found the problem. So basically, this is our bus bars. I'm not going to get too into explaining what everything does. It's sort of like one of the main distribution centers from the batteries to all the different systems. So this is the positive line that runs from the bus bars to the inverter, which then inverts the power and lets us use things like our household plugs and, you know, like the toaster oven and the stove and all that stuff. This connection here, this lug, has something is wrong with this connection right here. It's not loose. It wasn't loose when we took it apart or anything like that. But as you can see, it's like a different color now than all the other ones. And we did some testing when we turned on the toaster oven. This thing gets insanely hot. Like, you can't even touch it. It's so hot. But none of the other connections anywhere get hot. Like, none of the battery connections get hot. The connection going into the inverter doesn't get hot. It is just this lug. Something is wrong with this crimp in here. I don't know if it had failed over time or what. It's been totally fine up until this moment.
But it does look like it's been melting just because of this like weird discoloration and things.
Yeah, you can see like the glue
out
from the heat shrink has kind of melted and it's kind of like gooped. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. This is definitely not a good thing to have to deal with on the road. We're not near big cities or anything like that where I could order parts. We just have to kind of rely on what's available around here in order to get this stuff fixed. I made some calls this morning and there is like a truck part store about 2 hours away that might have the cable that we need, and they said they could probably put some lugs on for me. So I'm hoping all we need to do is swap out this one run of cable from the bus bar to the inverter, and that should be it.
And it's clearly overheating, which is a little bit of a safety concern. Not a little, great safety concern. So we're hoping to get this dealt with fast, but we also just want to make you guys aware that, like, obviously this is a little bit kind of like, oh, we're always like showing you guys disasters. Yeah. But like, just remember that we are like noobs. Like, we don't act, we are not professional.
Sometimes stuff goes wrong. Like, despite your best efforts, stuff goes wrong. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to make the drive over to, we're in Twillingate right now, and we need to go to Grand Falls, Windsor in order to go to this truck parts store. Just packing up the van temporarily. We gotta just kind of stuff everywhere right now because we had to take out everything in that bench. Okay, so we're on the road now. Like we said, we got a 2-hour drive to go from Twillingate to Grand Falls, Windsor. Don't get too excited because we don't even know if this is what's gonna fix it. It may not. Slipping out this cable might do nothing. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but with our luck at this point now, I wouldn't be surprised, and anything is possible.
Because in reality, why did it all of a sudden get so hot? Like, we don't really understand why that happened, because for months it's been fine up until very recently. We were saying it might have been a bad crimp.
But like, if it was a bad crimp, it would have been like this from the beginning. You're right. You know, it wouldn't have,
Stick around and we'll find out.
Let's find out. Okay, after 2 hours of driving, we have finally arrived. This is a shop that should have some cable for us. Like, I have this hooked up in my camper to my inverter. I thought maybe like just a bad crimp and it's just gotten loose or something like that.
No.
So,
no. We can make up another one. But
I figured I'll start with that, get a new one of this made, and go from there.
On road 5 months, you said?
Yeah, we're from BC. Yeah, we went all the way to Mexico, and then now we're here. It's been good.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, it's been a good trip for sure. But I mean, you deal with shit like this all the time on the road, right?
Oh yeah, so, no doubt.
You know, this is just one of many things. All right, new cable. I don't know if this is gonna do anything, honestly. I feel like by now it got hot.
Yeah, if it's not getting warm, then that's good.
By now, like, it was already burning.
No, it was. Yeah. Like we're boiling water, or attempting to. And the oven's on. And it's working.
I don't know, I'm still a little uneasy about this whole thing, but I think it's fixed. This is not getting hot anymore. This morning I couldn't even touch this slug without it, like, essentially burning my hand. Let's call that good.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it. And Dana made a good point about these two cables. Like, this is the original one. You can see on the good end the grooves and the ridges of when I crimped it, right? But on this one you can't. Maybe I just never crimped it good enough to begin with.
Well,
and it's
or did
like,
it expand because of the heat that it was creating?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because it wasn't like as crimped all the way. I don't know. But it doesn't move.
I know, that's the thing. Like if it was bad, I'd be able to
Pull it off.
pull it off or something, right? So like, it's not at all, right? So
I don't know.
I have no idea. Okay, we've driven about 10 minutes out of the city, and this is where we're hoping to park up for the evening.
It's fine. Apparently this land is for sale.
For sale.
All right, so hopefully that fixes everything. But I did want to touch on something here really quickly. We are planning on doing a whole video about what went wrong, what were our regrets, what would we change, all that jazz. If you have any questions, if you have like things that you're like, oh, how did that work out? Or, hey, would you do this differently? Or whatever, like any questions regarding the van, let us know, because we can touch on it in that video. Just wanted to let you guys know to keep an eye out for that one. And again, if you have any questions or anything you want to know about our van, put it in a comment below.
Okay.
The couch is back together.
Yes, and we think we did it. Like, I used the multimeter and I tested so many different points from the battery to the bus bars to the inverter, and it was all normal. So I'm not like a pro electrician or anything like that, clearly.
Okay, give yourself some credit. I feel like he's really discouraged because we've had a lot of episodes that have been like, this went wrong, and it's like, it kind of at some point feels like, wow, okay, did we really F up here? Literally this one single spot. So don't be too hard on yourself, and don't be too hard on me in the comments. I will delete them, and I will also get angry at you.
It's definitely, that was an all-day affair. It's like 6 o'clock at night now, and we kind of discovered this all like this morning and did all that driving. It was just a crazy day. So hopefully back at it tomorrow with something more interesting, more actual adventures. We'll catch you guys soon once, you know, we're back on the road and moving again towards more fun stuff.
All right, everyone, crazy turn of events. We follow a Facebook group about all of these icebergs, and there's a really big one in Newfoundland right now. And we're 2 hours out from that area, obviously, because of the wire issue. We were about to go to bed, like 11:30 p.m. And we both kind of just like looked at each other and we were like, I feel like we need to go back to Twilling Gate. Like, I want to see this iceberg. I don't know if we'll ever get to see one this big ever. So hopefully it stays there. We're gonna drive back right now. It's 11:45. Yeah, we're doing it. We're crazy. I do not recommend driving at night, but sometimes the adventure starts at midnight. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, everyone. So, crazy evening. So we have made it back to Twilling Gate. 2-hour drive. That was long. We almost
Hit a moose.
almost hit 2 of them. Do not recommend driving at night. We are back in Twilling Gate now.
And it is so worth it.
Yeah. Like, we weren't able to get it on camera, but as we were driving across the bridge into town, there is literally a giant iceberg, like literally right next to the bridge, basically touching land. It's good that we're back.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to bed and then wake up crazy early so we can just go and see these before they float away somewhere else. We're gonna go sleep right now and we'll see you guys in the morning. Crazy day. really crazy day. Anyway, bye. Okay, it is the next morning, but in reality it's like 4 hours since we went to bed. So we
feel hungover and drunk.
Yeah.
Sad what happens
Yeah.
when you get old.
But it doesn't matter because it's light out and we really want to go see this iceberg that we saw as we drove in. So hopefully it's still there.
And by light out we mean, you know,
It's not that light, I don't know. Yeah.
It's cloudy, so
Yeah.
we're gonna make some moody photos. There she is.
You can see it.
There's one, yeah. Like right there. Like, look at that. What a nice morning to wake up to. We quickly stopped and pulled over so we could get some footage of us with the iceberg, and we were having a good time taking some shots. But then, all of a sudden, we heard a big cracking sound and something mind-blowing was about to happen in front of us. Oh my god, you guys, I literally thought a tsunami was about to happen. This berg just exploded.
Like while we were here, while we were filming, I got it on the drone. That's a literal once in a lifetime. I can't believe that happened just now.
We were literally on our way out,
Yeah.
and we're like, nah, let's just stop.
Yeah.
And wow, this is like I am still just in shock. Like the sound that it makes when it is like had it.
That was so crazy. I can't believe that happened.
This is gonna be like a once in a lifetime memory. I'm never gonna forget this. This trip has been way more epic than I ever could have imagined. From the beginning of this trip, I was totally worried we were gonna see anything, and we literally just saw an iceberg explode right in front of our faces. You guys, this is insane.
Okay, you guys, that was
Epic!
that was like
Epic!
like we're like speechless of how incredible of a moment we just witnessed. We could not have asked for a better ending to our time here in Newfoundland. That was just absolutely mind-blowing that happened while we were still here. We were there for that moment in time. It only happened over the span of like 10 seconds, and we just happened to be rolling the camera. I don't know, that is literally a once-in-a-lifetime moment that will probably never happen again to us in our whole lives, and we got to witness that today. Yeah, our time here in Newfoundland was definitely crazy interesting. We had a lot of ups and downs for sure, like, you know, the problems with our plumbing and then the electrical and just all these things going wrong, but none of that matters. None of it matters in the face of what we just got to experience. Anyway, you guys, I think we're going to call it for this video here.
We've actually done this ending 3 times. If
We're
anybody
redoing
really
this.
wants to know. And the vlog was supposed to end like way back, but things just kept getting better.
Yeah, and we're just like, we gotta keep adding on to this episode over and over. But in any case, this was an absolutely mind-blowing experience here in Newfoundland. This was a trip of a lifetime, and like there are no words to explain.
We're just gonna be
how
telling this
amazing.
story for years.
Yeah.
I don't imagine us ever getting not excited
Yeah.
to tell this story.
Yeah, we're just so happy and so grateful that we get to do this. It's nuts. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a good time with us here in Newfoundland. Come visit Newfoundland. Like, if you've never been here before, if you ever had any inkling of coming to this side of the world and visiting this island, it is absolutely magical. There's so much to see and do. it's just incredible. But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Mike.
I'm Dana.
We're Let's Just Go Travel, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.
Woot woot!